So I finished this manga, Hibi chouchou, or whatever, or however you pronounce it. So I'm just not gonna pronounce any of the names properly. So I'll just I'm just gonna say sorry for that in advance. So let's get into it. So Hibi chouchou is a very simple, very sweet rom-com. Not a lot going on, to be honest. Just a very simple, very sweet, very wholesome one, and I really enjoyed it. While I will say it wasn't the most engaging one I've read, it is a very heartwarming and all around great one. So when it comes to stories in mangas, anime, movies, whatever it may be, I always gravitate towards the characters. That is what I care the most about. If a story has great characters, I love the story. If a story doesn't have characters that I can like or care about, then I'll probably not care about the story. Also, the characters are a big part for the characters are a big part for me when it comes to a story because the characters are what make the story interesting, at least in my opinion. You can have the most amazing story, but if the characters aren't amazing, uh, then the story is pretty much not unnecessary, in my opinion. Because here's the thing: if you don't like the characters in a story, you don't care about what happens in the story because now there's no one you like that you want to root for in the story. So that's just a side bit I want to talk about before I get into this how I feel about this manga Hibi Jojo. So I watched it. It was a fun read. 76 chapters, was it? Yeah, 76 chapters, and it was good. Um, the the thing is that where should I start? The story is pretty simple. There's this guy. There's this girl that's really beautiful, really cute, and everybody thinks that whoa, everyone likes her, but she's so cute, so beautiful that no one can really try to get with her in a sense. Like she's too out of everybody's league, so everybody's like watches from afar, and so though that's how her characters were shown at the start, and then your second main character, the dude in this story, is your typical nice guy who's kind of insecure about his feelings and is like not really a person who talks to girls. That's basically the main characteristics of both characters, and they're fine. But I will say that well, I'll start with the main character. His character arc, in my opinion, was the best out of all of them because for the most part, the main girl, she doesn't change all that much in the series. I mean, there are moments that show that she's changing and becoming a different person. For the most part, she's basically the same from start to finish. Now, she's not a bad character by any means, but she's not my favorite. And uh, the main character, while I do enjoyed his character for the most part, he wasn't my favorite character either. Both the main characters of this series aren't my favorite characters. While I will say there are two moments in the series where I love the main character. So I will get into it. And by the way, this is going to be spoiler filled. So if anyone's watching, yeah. So and then there are two moments. Well, the story is basically that they have a little shenanigans, little cute moments, and etc. etc. There's nothing a lot that happens. There's no big breakup that happens. There's no big tension, no competition, no fight, no nothing. It's a very sweet, very wholesome one, and I really enjoyed it. So the most important, like, what can you say? The conflict, you could say, of the series, in my opinion, was the fact that since the main girl was so out of everybody's league, and in that sense, so when our main guy got with her, everyone was like sort of jealous and was like, hey, why did he get it with her? What does she see in him and stuff like that? So they bug him and stuff, and so I think the main sort of goal was that they would become more comfortable with showing more comfortable with uh, showing their emotions around other people because they don't care now. Like they're comfortable with their relationship. I guess that was the point of the series. I guess. So there are two moments where his character really shines and was like, yeah, hell yeah, dude, go get it. So there were two moments that I was really like, hell yeah. So those were one was when they go to the festival, I guess. The second time, not the first time, the second time, picks her up and just carries her in the festival, and I was like, hell yeah, my boy growing up, my boy got some chadness in him, man. So that was really nice to see. And at the very end, where I guess it was their graduation ceremony. I don't remember. I can't really recall. I have bad memory, so don't help me to it. So and there he just goes up on stage and just there are these dudes that are like confessing to her for some reason, like they don't know that she's with someone or something like that. Like so he just goes up there and just screams and just shuts everybody up. Says, "She's my girl, and I will protect her." I was like, "Hell yeah, man!" That's what I like to see, and those are probably my favorite scenes of the whole series, to be honest. Especially his scenes. It was really great to see. And now I would like to talk about some of the side characters. Now, side characters I think were more my favorite. Like my two of my favorite side characters had to be the best friends, both the best friends of the main characters, the best friend of the guy and the best friend of the girl. Now, both the character was really interesting to me because I just find characters that like the main guy's best friend is probably my favorite character in the series, probably. Now, it's kind of a tie because both their friends are my favorite characters for some reason. I don't know why. I just like both of them. I like their personalities and how they interact with other characters. I just found them very endearing in a sense. Now, I will say that while the main dude's best friend isn't all that, like his story doesn't really have a lot to do. He doesn't do a lot in the story. He's just this really nice guy who's always supportive of his friend and stuff like that. And it kind of reminds of me in a sense, but I won't get into that. Just a different thing. Okay, so yeah, and and the best friend of the girl. Now she was a bit interesting character because I didn't understand what she was going for. She's shown as this really nonchalant, really doesn't care about stuff, doesn't care about romance and stuff like that. Very protective of her friend because of how everyone treats her and just always protecting her and stuff. So I was like, yeah, this character is okay. And then later on you see that there's more to her character. She does all these things, but she doesn't really, she feels like it gets in her way in a sense. She doesn't want these things, but I mean, like, it's common sense. Everyone wants to be loved, wants to be in relationships, but she's someone that knows that she wants it, but she knows that it's gonna hurt it in a sense. So there was a plot line at the very end, like this just came out at the real end, where all the story was wrapped up in a sense. It was like the last thing that had to come up, and was that she had somewhat feelings for the best friend, the main character's friend. Like that was kind of what they were going for. Now, obviously, I liked how it all turned out because earlier the main guy's best friend, gets with the girl, and she's also a great likable character, but not really important. They're kind of pushed aside at that point, but so see, she has somewhat feelings for him, and they're really when I saw it, like in the earlier chapters, you two kind of feel it, like she's being sort of a tsundere in a sense, but not completely. So I was like, is there something there? I can't quite tell, but by the end you do find out that yeah, she did kind of like him, but at the end of the day, because she was so late in revealing her emotions, I guess she was like that he already got himself a girlfriend, so he was like, she backed up and just let it go. And I like that because it was so great seeing a character that doesn't ruin other people's relationships because she wants to be in a relationship with someone. She was like very respectful in the sense. I mean, she did try. Like there was such a great moment where, uh, like this is something that I really like because there was such a great moment where she is being somewhat affectionate, giving the guy some bento or brunch or something, like repaying him for a debt essentially, because she in a scene she kind of bumps into him and bruises his arm and stuff. So, so that's not really that important, but for the most part she tries to make up for it. And then the friend of the girl who's the girlfriend of the main character sort of comes tries to confront her because she's seeing that this girl clearly has uh, some affection towards the main character's best friend, so she confronts him. But in that scene, they're kind of she doesn't really show it, and then the girl that is the best friend's girlfriend, she shows a very great scene where she just shows that she trusts the guy, and he knows that what he's telling is the truth, because the main character's best friend, he doesn't know it and he doesn't find out about it. And that was a great thing because it didn't ruin anything, it didn't add drama where there didn't need to be drama, and I like that fact. So that's that. So all in all, I like all the characters. Another character I would like to talk about are two a character that I kind of liked and I kind of disliked in a sense, because there was this character that it was shown that was kind of trying to get with the main character. She was trying to be the main girl's rival in a sense, but she was clearly not going to be a rival. She was felt more like a comedic relief in a sense at the start, but then her character was like, you felt bad for her because she's not a bad character, like shown as a bad character. She's just someone who's like persistent and just doesn't is very open with how that person feels. So I really liked her character, but there were things that kind of bugged me because she is so enamored by the main guy at a certain point. She doesn't care about what the main guy feels about her. So, and after a while, when everything's said and done and the main character gets with the main girl and they start doing their stuff, so she sort of hung up on him. Then she finds uh, then there's this other character that is the other best friend of the main character, is the cool looking guy. I mean, so if I'll probably post pictures of all the characters so you know who I'm talking about, because I just do not remember any of their names. I just can't be bothered to remember everyone's. I just know the main guy is the guy with the blonde hair and the glasses, and his brother is the guy who's very the mean faced guy. The best friend is the guy with the smiley face and the black hair, and that guy. They're kind of similar looking in all honesty, but they do have similar different not facial features but more characteristics, I guess. Like you could see, but yeah, but I'm just rambling on and probably spouting nonsense. But overall, I just wanted to sort of calm, because a lot of the times you watch these types of rom-coms and you just forget about them. I mean, they're fun when you're watching them, but after a while you just forget about them. And this was, while I did enjoy it, I'll probably forget about it. So that's why was the point of making this video about it, so I don't forget what I watched in honesty, and just capture these emotions that I had while I watched it. So yeah, that's what this video, what the point of the video is essentially. So yeah, there's not much I want to talk about. I liked the series, the art style was good, the characters was nice, the story was simple and sweet, and the thing is that this series didn't have a lot of drama, and I love that fact because I hate it when there's a lot of forced drama. There were a few scenes that I felt like were going in that territory, but for the most part they didn't. Like, it is a solid, fun and sweet rom-com, and without any of the bullshit, and I love that fact about it. And the only parts I would say that I disliked was probably nothing. For the most part, the character acted the way they should. There were a few annoying scenes, but they were so minuscule that it'd be nitpicking at that point. So yeah, For the most part, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good show, and yeah, I guess that's all I had to talk about it. Now, it is. I will say this: it's been a while since I've read properly read a manga. Like it has been a hot while. Like the last manga, proper manga that I read and finished was I guess years ago, man. Like it's been a while. Uh, the only manga that I read recently was Komi-san, which I do love. But the thing is, it's still an ongoing manga, and I'm not really a fan of just patiently waiting week after week for a new chapter and stuff. I just can't. I can't be bothered to wait that long. I'll just probably watch it when it's either there's a large chunk available and I can just binge watch a ton of it, or I just wait until it gets finished and then I'll start watching. I think I was at 220 chapter, I guess, and that's when I stopped or something similar to that. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and it's probably better than this one, but I did enjoy this one because it's an older one. I don't know when it came out. I guess 2019. I guess I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, for the most part, I enjoyed it. It was a good show, good manga, and a good read, and I highly recommend anyone who likes just these really sweet, wholesome, slice of life esque rom coms that are just fun. Now I will say that at the end you can read the one shot, and in that one shot I found that the main character's personality was way more fun in a sense. It's just something I noticed. Yeah, for the most part, I enjoyed it. It was good. Yeah. So I'm just rambling. I'm just gonna talk over and over how much I liked it and shit because I just don't script these. I just talking off my head. I'll probably edit some things out and at the end. But yeah. So yeah. So I watched it. It was good. It was fun. And so yeah. See ya. And that's just my opinion. One Saki boy's opinion. Bye bye.